so nervous.
Energy. We spent a lot of time on a reality show with that was going to be on E. Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Danny.
And we're Cimorelli.
Wait, can you do that again?
I want to do it again too. I know
Okay.
it's weird.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Danny.
And we're Cimorelli.
We are 6 sisters. We range in age 18 to 28, and we have been a band for over 10 years. Everyone looks like,
I'm so nervous.
So today, we are going to be exposing our LA life that we lived for 5 years. We're gonna talk about a few different topics, which are, I got a list because it is that juicy, we needed a list, okay? Our secret life in Malibu, people we have written with that you had no idea, people we worked with that you had no idea about, most likely, and LA/the industry in general, things that were just shocking or just really interesting.
I thought you were gonna say, and people we used to live next to.
And the huge celebrity that we used to live right next door to, which we did not tell anyone about.
That's how you respect people, by not giving away their address. But she moved, so now it doesn't matter.
So these stories involve celebrities, huge companies in the entertainment industry, and people who are very powerful and high up in the entertainment industry. Some people we're gonna talk about were involved in like scandals or controversies, and we're not gonna talk about that. We're not trying to drag anyone or, you know, like get sued or whatever. We're not doing that. We're literally just gonna say like what happened. And some of the things, you know, we gotta keep to ourselves. But we're gonna tell you some juicy things. If you guys want us to make a whole video of our record deal experience, leave it in the comments and we will make that video if we get enough comments saying we wanna hear about your record deal experience in LA, because that's a whole other video. And number 2, we're gonna do a Cimorelli podcast episode. Yes, the Cimorelli podcast is back. Season 2 is coming out on our channel, Cimorelli Podcast YouTube channel. Go subscribe to it. We're gonna do an episode where we talk about more of these LA stories because there's too many for this video.
Guys, we just
I wanna say one
low-key announced the podcast. That was our soft announcement. By the way.
So we didn't mention almost any of these things publicly. We're not like obsessed with celebrities. Most of them, we never took a picture, we never posted it, we never told anyone anything about it. We left LA for a reason. So I hope it doesn't come across weird. It's just too interesting to keep to ourselves. So we're gonna tell you guys. All of this is from the years 2010 to 2015. All right, so let's start with our secret life in Malibu.
Okay, I don't know why she said that.
Because it's secret. We didn't tell anyone about this.
Okay, in 2010, we moved from Northern California to Southern California, and we lived in Malibu, which is actually a really small town outside of LA.
I was dying to tell someone this the whole time it was happening, but for safety's sake, I am obsessed with personal privacy and not doxing people. But she moved, we moved, neither of us live there anymore.
And it all burned down.
Oh my gosh, both these houses burned down. So when we lived in Malibu, we lived in this mountain town, and a few years into us living there, a huge celebrity moved in next door to us. We didn't know who it was. We were trying to figure it out. And eventually we realized, I think, oh, the owner of the house told us because she was renting. It was Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, and
guys,
all people lived next door to Cimorelli.
This isn't like down the street or like far away.
like,
It was like you look out your window and you see her house.
I saw her driving, I waved to her. We saw her and her boyfriend, they both had Bentleys, and one was
matching
pink
and one was
orange. So they would just be driving up and down all the time. And our mom would hear him, he was on a run and he would rap on his run
Into the mountain.
into the canyons. It was really loud. So he'd be running and he was yelling like, Safari, Calamari, trying to rhyme it.
There were times where she would be gone for like months at a time because she was filming American Idol, so we would never see her. Like half the time she was there, she wasn't there. And then you're randomly on a walk and she drives by and she's like, hi. I'm like, oh my gosh, hi.
She didn't wave at me.
She waved at me.
She waved at me.
She waved at me. She waved. There was this 3-wheeler vehicle that was always in and out. We figured out that it was Tyga's, and he would drive up and do donuts in front of our gate, like the neighborhood gate, and drive all through because it was just a fun place to drive.
So because we were there several years ago, there was a lot of people who we would like see and we would be like associated with, we would hang out with them, or we'd be talking to them about whatever, working together, and they weren't huge then, but they're like huge now.
I found Charlie Puth on YouTube when he had like no views and no subscribers, and I was like, this guy is amazing. And I reached out, we started like DMing, he's like, oh my gosh, I love your videos. I was like, I love your videos. And then he came to Malibu to write, and he's like, let's hang out. So we like came to Christina and Lauren's birthday party. We were on the trampoline, it was so weird. Like when he actually blew up, we were like, wait, what?
If you look on YouTube right now, if you search Charlie Puth Made in America Cimorelli, there's a cover that someone re-uploaded. He deleted all his old videos, but someone re-uploaded this. He covered our song Made in America like years ago.
Oh yeah, I still have it on my
That's
iPod.
it.
'Cause we're made in America, it's true.
We had a song with Charlie Puth that he produced and we wrote on it, and it was a really good song. I really liked it. But
we sent us tracks and we'd like write over them. It was
Yeah.
so good.
He used to send a bunch of tracks and we wrote to them, but then we never ended up putting it out or actually going like through with it. But we were working on songs with him and he wasn't even like a big name. It was so weird. Amy can say, like, I used to hang out with her all the time, and she always be
asked me to
like,
teach her to sing.
teach me how to, whatever she said. That was super
No, I
interesting.
don't want to talk about her.
Say it, we can decide later if you want to cut it out.
I was really close friends with, I don't know if I want to say it, but I was. We were like really close friends, me and like we would talk all day. We'd be texting, we weren't texting, we'd be on iChat. Or we'd be like FaceTiming like all day. And she would ask me to teach her how to harmonize and I'd play piano and she would sing and it was really fun. And it didn't really end well, so it just kind of like chilled and then we weren't friends anymore.
You don't have to say
You don't have to say it.
It doesn't make sense
Okay,
though,
cool.
because we
Yeah.
were
No, it's fine.
really
No, we're not saying how any of these ended.
Okay, this is really exciting for me because I was getting to it. A long time ago, then we got a song from our label. They sent it to us like, hey, record this song. And it's actually our song, I Got You.
I got you.
Which is out, you can listen to it. And it was written by Julia Michaels, which is crazy for me to think about because I love her now and I love all her songs now. But she's written for like everyone.
Justin Bieber,
Selena
Gomez.
Gomez. And she's her own artist too. So we worked with her a really long time ago and we met her too.
We went in the meeting, we weren't excited
We didn't
about
even
her.
know who she was though, because like whatever.
It was a year before Sorry by Justin Bieber came
Yeah.
out and all her big songs
she
came
wrote.
out.
Okay, so we posted a Vine of us singing,
Life
I
at
think
the
it's us
Party.
three singing Life at the Party by Shawn
I was in it.
Mendes. It was like when that song
He was
came
still a
out.
MadCon boy.
And then he saw it and he was like, oh my gosh, I love your guys' videos. I'm so excited that you covered this song. And then we like, we're talking about collabing for actually
long
like
time.
months, but then like he lived in Canada and like it didn't end up working out.
So we went to the Teen Choice Awards one year and we were on the red carpet and we met Selena Gomez. Briefly, we just like took a picture with her, said hi. I don't even know, a year later maybe, this family from church, I babysat for them, and I was at their house. They had this really nice house on the beach and they would always do like, celebrities would come in and do like photo shoots there. And I remember one time I was babysitting for them and they were like, oh yeah, we're doing a photo shoot with Selena Gomez today. And honestly, I don't really care about celebrities that much, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I went down to the beach with the baby and the mom and stuff. We all just like went to say hi to her and I was just thinking like, I already met you before, but you have no idea.
Halloween 2010, I was dressed as Snooki, and I remember at the end of the night, we went back to our friend's house where we all like congregated in the neighborhood, and Bella Hadid was there, and I remember that her sister was just starting to get famous, and she was just the sister or whatever, but she was super nice. She wasn't like famous at all yet, and we sat around the table for an hour, and we were all talking, and I was like, oh, she's so pretty, she's so nice.
We would talk on Facebook, Bella and I, and talk about like riding horses and stuff.
Our brother had a huge crush on Gigi Hadid, but not because he like saw her on Instagram and like found her and she was a famous model or whatever. He saw her around the different places in Malibu because it was a really small town. Gigi and Bella, because I'm on a first name basis with them, I'm Malibu, both worked at this like local juice bar thing that our brother would go to all the time. So he would talk to her every time he went to there, or he would see her around town and he'd be like, oh my gosh, I talked to her today. Like he was trying to like date her for a while.
Also, I had like a youth group that I started at my church with a couple other people and Bella came to like our opening, which was so weird. She was like 14.
We lived near a grocery store. It was like the only grocery store in Malibu. And for some reason, we saw so many celebrities there.
They needed
like,
groceries.
because they lived there. There was one place for them to go.
I ran into Pink in the grocery store, almost physically ran into her. She dropped her keys and I was like, turned around and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Pink. I didn't normally go like, when I saw a celebrity, I was just like, but I like kind of was like, so she like grabbed her keys and she looked at me and she stood up and she like glared at me, probably like, why are you staring at me? And then she like strutted off and I was like, that was the scariest interaction I've ever had, but I loved it.
I had a real life panic attack because I saw Alex Turner, who's the lead singer of Arctic Monkeys, which is my favorite band on earth.
I remember
At
that.
the grocery store.
We saw him and then we were like, okay, wait, we gotta turn around. So we turned around and drove by him again,
Oh, yeah,
blasting
in the parking lot.
their song.
We turned up Are You Mine? We played it really
I
loud.
like didn't look at him.
And he pretended not to see us and hear it. Some other people who we like saw randomly around the town or at the grocery store were Patrick Dempsey. I saw Patrick Dempsey at my little brother's like pee-wee basketball kind of thing.
I walked into a basketball game and he went,
I was like, oh my god. We saw Ashley Tisdale at the beach.
oh my gosh, guys, I just remembered one. Julia Roberts was sitting 2 rows in front of me at church, and I love her. I was having a panic attack.
Lady Gaga was at church!
Oh my
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. One time we were at church and we see this girl in the corner. She's like blonde. She's got a cool outfit on. She has these really cool shoes on. And then I was like, is that Lady Gaga? And we were all like whispering to each other, and it was her. She just came to our church one day.
And this wasn't like one of those like cool, big, trendy
Mega churches.
It's
It's a small Catholic church.
Catholic church.
Kevin, you saw Matthew McConaughey at the beach.
Yes. Oh, okay. I always remember I would go on runs at the beach all the time, and he ran by me, and he had the beanie, the glasses, like he was like, do not talk to me. And that's another thing in Malibu, like we didn't know this at first, but like we learned it as we lived there, that there is an unspoken rule. Do not talk to celebrities. Do not look at them. Treat them normal because you
why they're
respect
there.
them and you respect their personal boundaries.
At the same beach that we saw Ashley Tisdale, we were there on the 4th of July, and then we were like walking to somewhere, and then Kendall and Kylie were just walking in front of us.
This is when they were not really on the show as much. Like it never centered around them.
It was
so
more-
it was like, wait, that's like Kylie and Kendall. Like
Yeah,
it was weird, but
so
it wasn't
weird.
like, oh.
Yeah. A long time ago, we went to the Radio Disney Music Awards, and we were walking in, we were getting on like in the line to like go into the red carpet, and I remember that we see Ariana Grande. Didn't have any security, didn't have anyone really with her. I think she had one
You're
person.
right.
She was just walking into the line, and she saw us, and I think, I don't know if we talked to her or what.
No,
Like,
I talked to her. She was like, you guys are Cimorelli. And I was like, yeah. We had a mutual like friend kind of cat. Well, it's weird to say we had a mutual friend. We talked to her in line. There wasn't that much to say, but she was really nice. People we've written with. We're not going to go through all of them. We're just going to go through a couple because this is already getting really long. One of the weirdest ones was Kesha's mom.
Oh my gosh. Her name is PB, like PB&J. She's awesome.
And
No,
we
but
were
it's P-E-B-E.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
it's PB.
Yeah, it's a real
we were
name.
talking about our brother. I don't know why. We're like, oh, he's the same age as Kesha or something. I don't know how old he was. And then she's like, oh, really? Maybe they should date. Our brother and Kesha. She's like, does he have a beard? She really likes beards. And you know what she says at the end of the one song? I like your beard. Yeah, I was like, I thought that was just a random thing in a song. She was like, you guys are kind of like the opposite of Kesha. Okay, so I have to be really like clean and family friendly, whatever. And we were like, yes.
If you've heard our leaked song, Boom, that's the one that we wrote with Kesha's mom.
It's good.
I love that song.
It's really good.
We're gonna talk about more of these on the podcast, but just a brief overview. We loved writing with Liz Rose, who was one of the only people in the beginning of Taylor Swift's career to actually co-write with her on like her first album, so that was a huge deal to us. Diane Warren wrote for, not with them, literally everyone, like Aerosmith and Celine Dion, Beyonce, all these people. The Dream, who wrote Baby by Justin Bieber, Umbrella by Rihanna, Single Ladies, like crazy stuff.
Beyonce called him while we were in the studio. He talked to her on the phone while we were in the studio.
Priscilla Renee, George with Ariana Grande, and wait, she was something else that was cool. Rihanna and a bunch of people.
There's a bunch of other writers, and we have a bunch of really interesting, strange, sad, exciting, whatever, weird stories of writing, but we can't get into all of them here, but we can get into that in the podcast and future videos. Some people we worked with, once again, just a short list. We're not gonna go through everyone, but these were some interesting ones. Richie Jackson.
Here we are with Cimorelli Squirrels, I call them. And we're here rehearsing today in Evolution Studios. My name is Richard Jackson. I am a choreographer.
Some of you guys already know this. He was Lady Gaga's choreographer, and he's worked with like tons of huge people. Just if you search him, you'll be like, what the heck?
He's in A Star Is Born. I saw, I was like, oh my god.
He was like getting us to not be so like shy. He's like, come on, ladies. Lorianne Gibson.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
She and I like particularly bonded a lot, and we talked like the whole time. We were so connected. It was such a cool thing. We worked with her on That Girl Should Be Me video. She was like a movement coach almost.
Yeah.
She was getting us to be like confident. She was working with me on like my walk. She worked with all of us on walking. Literally, guys, in LA, we were taught to walk by multiple different people. Also, media coaching.
Oh, yeah, I was
we
just
can't go
thinking
into
that.
that here. We'll talk about media coaching in one of the videos or the podcast.
Basically, they
Guys,
teach you how to talk.
our first interview ever was with Zach Sang. If you guys know who that is.
in LA when we were just our first YouTube video took off, and he wanted to interview us on his show.
One of our first photo shoots that we ever did was with Angelo Criticos, who now does like everything Demi Lovato does and a million other people.
Huge.
He was such a good guy. I really liked him.
And our first real music video that we ever did was with Hannah Lux Davis.
Any last words about the video?
I just think the girls did so fabulous and they were so beautiful. So many beautiful pieces of hair flying around.
That is a wrap.
She did like all of the huge Ariana Grande
Every
videos.
single Ariana Grande video.
And Demi Lovato.
And Demi Lovato, yeah.
Okay, what?
And Demi Lovato's documentary.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know who this is now, but back in that time, this was the biggest producer by far. Did everything like Katy Perry, Britney Spears, Teenage Dream, Kesha, did like everything.
Everything.
the biggest
He
producer.
wrote.
We had signed some kind of deal with him. I don't know how to explain to you guys, but we had a deal signed with him. So we were signed, which is absolutely insane. And basically, he came over to our house in Malibu. He came over with who you know from Nickelodeon. They came over to our house in Malibu and we sang for them. I think we sang $1 Million. We sang Some Nights for them. I remember because I was like, we sang for them.
And we had a whole conversation with about having like a TV show with like music incorporated. I remember we were talking about this.
We were working on a reality show. Well, we'd filmed the whole sizzle reel and everything. Like we spent a lot of time on a reality show with Ryan Seacrest that was going to be on E!
And Ryan Seacrest Productions is the company that made the Kardashians show, like films the whole thing, or at least did for many years.
So basically we filmed the whole thing. It didn't end up working out. Every celebrity you see, every influencer you see who's in LA, they probably have had 1 million deals that they made or almost made, but they fell through. This is like how it always works. This is a normal thing, but no one talks about the ones that don't pan out. Although you do see actors talk about this more, where they're like, I auditioned for this role, I didn't get it, or I was almost cast as this role, whatever. We had worked in this whole show. It was like insane. I wouldn't say it was a great experience, but I learned a lot from it. It just never panned out, like a lot of things.
We tried.
Whatever. I know people will be like, I know exactly how I could have taken you to the top if you did X, Y, Z. Okay, if you do, then go do it yourself and then just show me, okay? People always think like, oh, I know what would have made things popular and I know what would have made things take off. You actually don't. Just saying. You don't know what the contracts are like. You don't know what's actually gonna happen.
We literally met with like every network you could think of on TV, like TLC, E, etc., Disney, every single network about doing a reality show. We just didn't do it.
We have been contacted by America's Got Talent, X Factor, a new show, The Four or whatever. They reach out to us every single year, multiple times, and other shows, and ask us to audition. They have like casting searches. There's a lot more details than what we're saying. We're giving you guys an entertaining video. We're not going into the details because most people think that's boring. I don't, but most people, you don't have the attention span for it, okay? I remember our manager telling us Simon Cowell reached out and wanted to sign us. In 2010, we were already signed though, so we did not. I don't know if we would have anyway because I never saw the deal. That's interesting. 2010, he's like, oh, I want to put together a girl group. He was looking for
a girl group.
female One Direction.
Yes!
That's what they said,
Oh my gosh, the Jonas Brothers thing. The Jonas Brothers dad. We met him at an event. He talked to our mom. And he told her, I've been following these girls for years. He had been following our band for years.
I'd like to take credit for that, just because I put so much mental energy into it.
Jonas.
I think I summoned that into our lives.
So we have a bunch of crazy stories from having a record deal and the writing and everything that happened behind the scenes. We have a lot more. We're gonna talk about it on our podcast, Cimorelli Podcast. Go subscribe to the channel. Okay, we got juicy episodes. This will be probably towards the middle of the season or the beginning middle. If you guys want, we will do a video about our record deal experience. We were signed with Universal for 5 years. It was a wild ride. We live in Nashville. We run things on our own. We are empowered young women. We love being in charge and being able to tell ourselves what we want to wear and not having to use our bodies to sell our music, not being pressured into that. I love that. Love that for us. We are so much more fulfilled and happy with what we're doing, and we love that you guys have supported us through all this, because if you hadn't, we would not have been able to break away from that and be successful on our own. So because of you guys and your support, we are able to this career where we are in control because of you guys. So you guys have given us so much freedom and control. You don't even realize like how much you've done for us by watching our videos, streaming our music, buying the merch, everything you do, like that goes into being able to support ourselves. So thank you guys so much for making that possible for us. We go into this in a project that we'll announce soon. We go into the real depths of the darkness that LA like brought to our lives and that experience we went through. I mean, it was dark and it was depressing. It was really hard on us. And we knew a lot of people and know a lot of people who are literally going through that same thing or went through that same thing, because it can just tear you apart. This industry and LA as a place, the culture is very difficult to thrive in, especially like for your soul. Anyway, we are so grateful for you guys. So thank you so much for making this all possible. So if you guys like my sweatshirt, this is some Cimorelli merch. So you can rep your faves. As one of you guys said, I love that. You can rep your faves, get your Cimorelli merch. We have a lot of other stuff, but it is selling out and we don't know if we're gonna be restocking all the items. The beanie like this already sold out, sorry. So go get this before it sells out. Thank you guys so much for supporting our merch and repping your faves.
And now it's time for Question of the Week. This question comes from Facebook, And this is from Michael Campos. Which sister takes the most time to get ready to leave the house?
It ain't Danny.
It ain't me.
I would say Lisa probably.
Wait,
Or
to
Christina.
leave the house?
I could take a long time.
Yeah.
I could take my time.
I've seen you take.
Well, just in general.
I would say either Lisa because she's so meticulous with her details, so she'll spend like 20 years on just doing her eyebrow, or Christina because she has some
It's
talent
relaxing.
for like spreading things out over the course
I
of
find
hours.
it relaxing, so I make it take time. But if we're like just need to go somewhere, I don't need to put makeup on, I'll just leave. None of us is like, I can't go out of the house without makeup on. I can't let the world see me. We are proud of our natural faces and we will put them out there.
Really, we're talking about who takes the most time getting ready to film a video, and that might be me.
Thanks for watching. We love the Sim Fam.
I didn't say wait.
There's no.
I feel like we may have too many things to say, so keep aware that we can just use them in the podcast.
Yes.
Everyone keep aware.
I keep aware.
Singing like, yeah,